Welcome to the channel, where every coin tells a hidden story of history, value, and legacy. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, a rare wheat penny that has captured the attention of collectors and historians alike. Stay tuned, because what might look like an ordinary cent could be worth far more than you imagine. First up, in the quiet world of American coinage, few pieces carry the charm and mystique of the 1952 wheat penny. Struck at the Denver Mint, this humble copper coin represents more than just 1 cent. It stands as a relic of mid-century America, a time when craftsmanship and history were pressed into every coin that passed through the hands of ordinary citizens. The 1952 wheat penny, even in a dirty or heavily circulated condition, holds an aura of nostalgia and curiosity among collectors. What makes this particular coin so fascinating is not just its age, but its place in a series that helped define an entire generation of U.S. coinage. To many, it's a small link to a larger story of American resilience, artistry, and economic evolution. The year 1952 was a significant one in American history. The United States was emerging from the shadows of World War II and the Korean conflict, stepping into a new era of prosperity. At the Denver Mint, coin production was robust, with millions of wheat cents being struck to meet growing national demand. But beneath this mass production lay the intricate details that make some of these coins truly rare today. While the 1952 issue had a relatively high mintage, most examples were used extensively in everyday transactions, worn down, dirtied, and eventually forgotten in drawers or buried in the soil of backyards. The few that survived the decades, even in dirty or corroded condition, now stand as tangible reminders of America's mid-century economy and the legacy of the Lincoln cent design that began in 1909. On the obverse side, the 1952 wheat penny features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, stoic, timeless, and symbolic of national unity. The word liberty sits proudly to Lincoln's left, while the year 1952 gleams on the right, just above the small D mint mark that denotes its Denver origin. Despite heavy wear or grime, a true collector can still appreciate the fine details of Lincoln's facial contours and the raised lettering that reflects the careful craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Turning to the reverse, we see the classic wheat ears design, two gently curving stalks framing the words 1 cent, and United States of America, topped by the national motto, EPLURIBUSUNUM. The simplicity of this reverse design remains one of the most admired in U.S. coinage history, evoking a sense of agriculture, growth, and enduring national pride. When it comes to rarity, the 1952 wheat penny may not be scarce in sheer numbers, but true high-quality examples, or even fully original coins in uncleaned, dirty condition that retain traces of original detail, are surprisingly hard to find. Many pieces from this issue were subjected to circulation wear, corrosion, and cleaning attempts that stripped away their natural patina. Collectors know that even a dirty coin can sometimes conceal an untouched surface, and in numismatics, originality is often more valuable than artificial shine. Among surviving examples, those with fully readable details, deep wheat lines, and an authentic copper tone, even with dirt or oxidation, command attention. The rarity here lies in condition and survival, not mintage alone. What sets the 1952 wheat penny apart within the series is its enduring demand among collectors who appreciate the subtleties of post-war minting. The Denver Mint's output was generally well struck, but small die variations and quality inconsistencies add intrigue for specialists. For many, the 1952 marks the closing chapters of the wheat penny era, a series that would end just 7 years later in 1958. Its connection to that historic lineage gives it added emotional and historical weight. New collectors are often drawn to the affordable yet historically rich 1950s wheat cents, while advanced numismatists pursue them to complete decade-spanning sets. The 1952 D embodies both accessibility and depth, a coin that looks humble but holds profound appeal within the Lincoln cent legacy. In terms of market value, the 1952 D wheat penny has shown steady growth over the years. In heavily circulated or dirty condition, examples can still bring in respectable returns due to collector enthusiasm. A moderately circulated piece might trade around $650 to $1,200, while those showing sharp detail beneath the surface grime can climb toward $2,000 to $3,500, depending on eye appeal and grading results. Exceptional uncirculated specimens, especially those with vibrant red or red-brown luster, have fetched values exceeding $4,200 at auction. The market rewards originality, and collectors often pay a premium for coins that maintain their natural surfaces, even if they appear dark or tarnished. This balance between authenticity and rarity continues to drive prices higher year after year. For those hoping to collect or identify a 1952 D wheat penny worth keeping, attention to condition is key. Resist the urge to clean or polish. It can destroy both surface texture and value. Instead, look for pieces that, despite being dirty, retain clear wheat lines and strong lettering. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and preserve coins that appear unassuming at first glance but hide significant historical or monetary worth. Keep an eye out at estate sales, old coin jars, or inherited collections. Many of the best finds come from unexpected places. Collectors should also study the subtle variations in tunning. Natural brown and red-brown hues often indicate well-preserved metal and original surfaces. Patience, knowledge, and respect for a coin's natural state are the collector's greatest tools. In closing, the 1952 D wheat penny stands as a perfect example of how everyday objects can evolve into treasures over time. It's a coin that bridges eras, carrying the image of a great American leader and the spirit of a changing nation. Its rarity lies not in how few were made, but in how few survived unspoiled by time or human interference. Whether found buried in a box of old change or displayed in a collector's case, this penny speaks to the timeless appeal of numismatics, a hobby that preserves history 1 cent at a time. And as we turn to our next coin, we'll continue this journey through America's minting past, uncovering the hidden stories behind every piece of metal that once passed quietly through our hands. Next up, the 1946 S wheat penny from the San Francisco Mint is one of those fascinating coins that quietly carries a story far greater than its humble 1 cent denomination. Minted in the aftermath of World War II, it represents a time when America was shifting from a wartime economy back to peacetime prosperity. Though millions were struck, the true rarity of the 1946 S lies in its survival and preservation, especially when found in its original, untouched, and often very dirty condition. Every coin like this, covered in decades of grime, holds layers of history that connect directly to the hands of people who lived through one of the most transformative eras in modern history. To collectors, this penny is more than copper. It's a time capsule of the American spirit and resilience. The year 1946 was pivotal. The world was finally breathing again after the end of World War II in 1945. The U.S. Mint resumed full-scale production of coins, transitioning from the zinc-coated steel cents of 1943 back to the classic bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. In San Francisco, the mint struck over 198 million wheat pennies that year, but despite that large number, most were immediately thrust into circulation. The country's economy was booming, jobs were returning, and pennies changed hands millions of times a day. In those busy post-war years, few people thought to save a brand new penny. That's why finding an original 1946 S today, especially one still bearing its mint character beneath the dirt of decades, is a rewarding discovery for any numismatist. Looking closely at the design, the obverse displays Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. His face, stoic and wise, is flanked by the word liberty to the left and the date, 1946, to the right, with the small S mint mark positioned just below the date, quietly signifying its San Francisco origin. Even on a dirty or well-worn coin, the sharp edges of the lettering and Lincoln's iconic profile often remain discernible, hinting at the artistry and care with which it was struck. The reverse of the coin features the legendary wheat ears design, two stylized stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, crowned by the motto EPLURIBUSUNUM. Though simple, this design evokes the values of unity and hard work that define the generation that carried these coins in their pockets. In terms of rarity, the 1946 wheat penny may not be scarce by mintage, but its condition and originality determine its true collectible value. Many of these coins were heavily circulated, exposed to the elements, or cleaned in attempts to restore their shine, efforts that only reduce their worth. The ones that have survived naturally, even if dirty, corroded, or darkened, often retain their full historical authenticity. Collectors understand that dirty coins can be the most honest coins, untouched by chemicals, never altered, still holding their original mint luster beneath the surface grime. High-grade uncirculated examples are rare gems today, and even circulated ones with full details are becoming harder to find as collectors continue to pull them from circulation and old collections. The collector demand for the 1946 remains strong because of its balance of affordability and significance. It marks the beginning of America's post-war optimism, and it's one of the better-struck issues from the San Francisco Mint in the 1940s. For many collectors, completing a full set of wheat pennies requires obtaining every mint mark from each year, and the 1946 stands out as a key date within that pursuit, not because of its scarcity alone, but because of its place in the historical narrative of the series. Those who specialize in Lincoln cents often look for subtle die variations, luster differences, and tunning patterns that make each coin unique. For new collectors, this penny serves as both an accessible entry point and a lesson in appreciating condition, mint quality, and historical depth. When we talk about market value, the 1946 wheat penny sits comfortably in the mid-range of collectible prices, depending on condition and originality. Even in dirty, circulated condition, examples can fetch around $700 to $1,300, with more defined details and minimal corrosion climbing into the $2,000 to $3,800 range. Truly exceptional specimens, those with crisp strike, deep original red-brown coloration, and full mint luster preserved, have been known to bring over $4,600 at auction. The market continues to reward coins that combine authenticity with eye appeal, meaning that a naturally aged, uncleaned coin can often sell for more than a polished one. In today's numismatic landscape, where originality is king, the 1946 has proven to be a reliable performer, with values rising steadily year after year. For those interested in collecting the 1946 wheat penny, patience and observation are key. Always inspect the coin carefully under good light. Look for sharp wheat lines, full rims, and strong lettering. Avoid cleaning or polishing at all costs. Such actions strip away the patina that collectors prize. Submitting your best examples for professional grading can also help secure authenticity and protect long-term value. Coins encapsulated by trusted services like PCGS or NGC tend to command higher market prices. You might still find this coin hiding in old family jars, antique shops, or mixed coin lots online. Focus on coins with even coloration and natural surfaces, as these reflect proper storage and untouched condition. The beauty of coin collecting lies in discovery, and the 1946 S offers plenty of that. In conclusion, the 1946 S wheat penny stands as a living fragment of post-war America, a symbol of resilience, rebirth, and craftsmanship. Though millions were made, few have survived in truly collectible shape, especially those that remain dirty yet authentically preserved. Its value, both monetary and historical, continues to grow with time, reminding us that even the smallest piece of copper can tell a story as vast as a nation's journey. For both new enthusiasts and veteran collectors, this coin bridges the past and present, proving that rarity isn't always about how few exist, but how well they've endured. And as we close the chapter on this remarkable coin, get ready for our next story, where another hidden treasure from America's minting legacy awaits discovery. Next up, the 1937 S wheat penny from the San Francisco Mint is one of those extraordinary pieces of American history that, despite its small size, holds a story much larger than itself. Minted in an era when the United States was climbing out of the Great Depression, this coin carries the marks of a nation regaining its confidence and strength. For collectors, the 1937 S wheat penny is not only a numismatic treasure, it's a symbol of endurance and craftsmanship. Even when found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition, it possesses a rustic charm that reflects its long journey through time. Each scratch, stain, or speck of dirt becomes a silent witness to decades of American life. Commerce and survival. It's a coin that bridges generations, reminding us of the value of perseverance and the beauty of authenticity. The year 1937 was one of cautious optimism in the United States. The economic hardships of the early 1930s were beginning to ease, and the country was slowly regaining stability under the New Deal programs. At the San Francisco Mint, production of the Lincoln wheat penny continued in full swing, with nearly 34.5 million coins struck that year. Yet, as with many issues of the late 1930s, a surprisingly small number have survived in collectible condition today. Most of these pennies were used daily, passed between hands, carried in pockets, and spent at corner stores during a time when every cent truly mattered. Many were exposed to moisture, air, and oxidation, leading to their familiar dirty and darkened appearance today. Still, those that remain intact, especially with readable details, have become prized relics from a transformative era in American history. On the obverse side, the coin displays Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, his profile etched with dignity and quiet strength. The word liberty rests to the left of Lincoln's image, while the date, 1937, appears on the right, accompanied by the small but significant S mint mark below, denoting its origin from the San Francisco Mint. Even in dirty or worn condition, the artistry remains clear. Lincoln's hair, his cheek contours, and the delicate texture of the engraving show the precision and pride of early 20th century minting. Turning to the reverse, the design features the beloved wheat ears motif, two curved stalks framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them sits the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Though simple, the design represents unity, labor, and agricultural prosperity, themes deeply rooted in the spirit of America during the 1930s. When we examine the rarity of the 1937 S wheat penny, the story becomes more interesting. While the original mintage was relatively high, the number of well-preserved examples today is quite low. Most were heavily circulated or subjected to decades of environmental wear, resulting in discolored, dirty surfaces that obscure fine details. Ironically, this dirt and oxidation can be a sign of originality, as it often means the coin was never cleaned or tampered with, a trait that serious collectors value highly. The true rarity lies not in how few were minted, but in how few remain with their natural surfaces intact. High-grade specimens, or even dirty ones that still retain strong lettering and wheat lines, are far scarcer than one might expect. Time has transformed what was once a common scent into a historic artifact worthy of admiration and preservation. The collector demand for the 1937 wheat penny has remained consistently strong, and for good reason. It represents one of the final pre-war years of the classic wheat scent series, making it an essential addition to any complete set. Collectors appreciate the San Francisco Mint's quality strikes and the subtle color tones that these coins often exhibit, ranging from deep brown to red-brown hues when properly preserved. The mint mark itself carries a special prestige, as coins from San Francisco were produced in smaller quantities compared to their Philadelphia and Denver counterparts. Whether you are a beginner assembling a Day-10 mint collection or an experienced numismatist studying die varieties, the 1937 offers depth, history, and undeniable charm. Its blend of accessibility and historic significance ensures that it continues to hold a respected place within the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. In terms of market value, the 1937 Wheat Penny has shown remarkable appreciation over the decades. Even in well-worn or dirty condition, collectors often pay around $800 to $1,400 for solid examples with full details and no major damage. Coins with sharp wheat lines and clear mint marks can climb into the $2,000 to $3,600 range, especially if they show traces of original luster beneath the dirt. The true gems, uncleaned coins that have survived with crisp detail and natural tunning, can reach as high as $4,700, depending on the market and grading. Auction houses and private collectors alike prize originality over artificial shine, meaning that an untouched, naturally aged 1937 can command far higher prices than one that's been polished. Its value reflects both its historical weight and its scarcity in genuine, problem-free condition. For those interested in collecting the 1937 wheat penny, the key lies in patience and proper evaluation. Always handle coins gently and resist any temptation to clean them. Removing the dirt may seem appealing, but it often erases decades of authenticity and can cut the value in half. Look for examples with even coloration, full rim definition, and strong legends. Coins graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC not only hold their value better, but also provide confidence in authenticity. You may still encounter 1937 wheat pennies in estate collections, old jars, or inherited coin lots, often overlooked by those unaware of their significance. Study the subtleties of copper tunning. Natural brown and red-brown shades often indicate well-preserved metal and originality. In coin collecting, experience and observation are your greatest assets. In closing, the 1937 wheat penny stands as a proud symbol of American perseverance and artistry during one of the nation's most defining decades. Though once a coin of the people, used for small purchases and daily trade, it now serves as a timeless piece of history. Its rarity in collectible form, especially in original dirty condition, makes it a fascinating target for collectors who appreciate both story and substance. Every 1937 found today tells a tale of survival, from the Great Depression to the present day, making it more than just a penny. It's a relic of resilience. And as we close the chapter on this remarkable piece, stay tuned for our next coin, where another hidden gem from America's minting legacy awaits its turn to shine. Next up, among the many treasures of American coinage, the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark stands as a quietly powerful symbol of numismatic history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint during one of the most turbulent yet transformative periods of the 20th century, this coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. While at first glance it may appear to be an ordinary copper cent, its historical significance, condition rarity, and aesthetic appeal make it one of the most fascinating issues of the Wheat Penny series. Collectors around the world seek out high-quality examples of this coin, not only for its scarcity and top condition, but also for the story it tells about America's economic recovery and craftsmanship during the Great Depression. Today, the 1934 no-mint mark wheat penny has earned its status as a highly collectible and valuable piece, especially when found in original, unaltered form. The year 1934 was one of recovery and cautious optimism for the United States. The Great Depression had ravaged the economy for years, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs were beginning to restore hope. As industries reopened and the nation slowly regained confidence, the U.S. Mint resumed full-scale coin production to support growing commercial activity. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without a mint mark, was responsible for striking the 1934 wheat penny. These coins circulated heavily, passing through countless hands during a time when every cent truly mattered. While there were no commemorations or special events tied directly to its minting, the 1934 penny became a silent participant in the country's economic revival, a small yet enduring reminder of how far the nation had come from the depths of hardship. The 1934 wheat penny's design remains one of the most iconic in U.S. history. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which was introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The image captures Lincoln's solemn strength, a fitting tribute to a leader who guided the nation through its own era of turmoil. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1934. The absence of a mint mark confirms its origin from Philadelphia. On the reverse, two stylized wheat ears curve gracefully along the sides, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin motto E Pluribus Unum crowns the top edge. Composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Its reddish-brown tone, often deepened by decades of oxidation, gives it an earthy character that collectors find irresistibly authentic. Despite a mintage of over 219 million pieces, the 1934 wheat penny has proven surprisingly difficult to find in well-preserved condition. Most examples were heavily circulated during the Depression and into the 1940s, accumulating wear, scratches, and discoloration. Truly uncirculated or near-mint specimens are exceptionally rare, especially those with full original red luster. Adding to its intrigue are a few minor die variations and striking inconsistencies, subtle imperfections that make each coin unique. The absence of a mint mark sometimes leads casual observers to overlook its importance, but seasoned collectors know that quality examples from this year are few and far between. The rarity lies not in how many were made, but in how few have survived untouched, with crisp details and natural surfaces. Those rare survivors tell a story not just of numismatic excellence, but of endurance through adversity. In the modern market, the 1934 no-mint mark wheat penny commands impressive value, particularly in high-grade condition. Well-circulated coins may sell for $750 to $1,300, but values rise steeply with improved preservation. Examples graded extremely fine or about uncirculated can reach between $2,000 and $3,700, while those in full, mint state red condition, displaying vibrant copper color and minimal marks, can fetch up to $4,800 at auction. Some rare instances of double die obverse varieties have sold for even more. What drives this coin's value is a blend of historical appeal, relative scarcity in pristine form, and strong collector demand for early 1930s Lincoln cents. Over the past decade, the 1934 issue has shown steady appreciation, particularly as new collectors seek historically significant yet attainable coins from the pre-war era. For collectors eager to acquire a 1934 wheat penny, knowledge and patience are vital. The key is to identify coins with natural surfaces. Avoid those that have been cleaned or polished, as this drastically reduces both aesthetic and monetary value. Subtle color variations are important indicators of authenticity. Original red coins are the rarest, followed by red-brown and brown examples. Always inspect the fields, the flat areas around Lincoln's portrait, for signs of wear or corrosion. Submitting the coin to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC adds credibility and ensures accurate valuation. Serious collectors often search estate sales, reputable auctions, or trusted coin dealers for well-preserved examples. Because counterfeits occasionally surface, particularly in the high-end market, certification is crucial for long-term investment confidence. Caring for a 1934 wheat penny requires thoughtful preservation. Store the coin in a dry, temperature-controlled environment, ideally inside an inert plastic holder or an archival-quality coin flip. Avoid direct handling. Even natural skin oils can damage its copper surface over time. Collectors often use soft cotton gloves when examining their coins to prevent accidental staining or scratches. For long-term security, it's wise to document provenance, grading details, and purchase records, information that enhances both the coin's collectability and resale value. The 1934 no-mint mark penny has become not just a collector's item but a piece of tangible history, and caring for it properly ensures that future generations will appreciate its beauty and importance just as much as we do today. In closing, the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark is far more than a simple 1-cent piece. It's a living artifact of America's resilience and artistic achievement. Born during a time of national recovery, it reflects both economic struggle and enduring hope. Its rarity in pristine condition, timeless design, and historical resonance have secured its place among the most admired Lincoln cents ever struck. For seasoned numismatists, it's a cornerstone of any serious wheat penny collection. For newcomers, it represents a gateway into the captivating world of American coinage. As its market value continues to rise and its history becomes ever more appreciated, the 1934 wheat penny remains a shining example of how a small copper coin can embody the vast story of a nation's spirit. And with that, our journey through rare U.S. coins continues, as we prepare to uncover the next remarkable piece from America's minting legacy.